If you're not familiar with our first guest, you surely have seen his work, and one of his latest projects, his first feature film, won 2 awards at the Sundance Film Festival. Let's welcome Tony Bennett, director and filmmaker of André is an Idiot. Great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
I love the title.
Thanks.
André is an Idiot. Before we get into the film itself and the journey that you took on this, being that it's your first feature film and it won at Sundance is a huge accomplishment, but you have accomplished much in the commercial arena. And when I say that people have certainly seen your work, it's true. I mean, you've done campaigns for Maytag and Pepsi and Oscar Mayer. I mean, it could go on and on. What made you decide to get into the filmmaking part of it?
Yeah, I've actually always wanted to be in doing feature films or telling larger stories. I landed in advertising and music video early on in my career just because it was short form and it was easy access to kind of get into that. And starting to directing Super Bowl spots for Pepsi and stuff, sort of how my career began. But I always wanted to move into film, so this was a big opportunity for me to kind of jump over.
What was the inspiration for André is an Idiot?
So André is an Idiot is a comedy about cancer, which I know sounds crazy, but the subject of the film, André, who had cancer, was one of the most hilarious people you'd ever meet, I've ever met. It's a one-of-a-kind person. And
good friend of yours?
A good friend of mine, yes. He was a creative director. He always had the craziest ideas. So I directed a lot of commercials for him, actually. We directed stuff with Ozzy Osbourne, with Eminem. We traveled the world together. We became friends over time.
Yeah.
And André called me, and he was such an irreverent and eccentric, personality. He called me one day and says, "I've got a project for you. It's gonna be really fun. You're gonna love this. Let's jump on a Zoom." And we get on a Zoom, and he goes, "Okay, get this. I've got cancer, and I want to make a comedy."
Wow.
And I'm like, "What?" And he said, "I want to make a comedy. I want you to direct a comedy about my journey with cancer." And that's how it started.
Interesting. And so this is a documentary, essentially. So it's not a scripted movie.
No, it's a non-scripted documentary, but it sort of blurs the lines. I would call it almost a hybrid in places where there's scenes that do feel a little bit more scripted and narrative. For example, surprise guest on the film is Tommy Chong. So the moment with him feels a bit more, scripted.
Oh, very interesting. And the journey that you do take with your friend, did he pass away from cancer? So does it come to fruition within this film that you see the full journey?
Yeah, unfortunately, André, succumbed to his colon cancer right before Christmas 2023.
Oh, goodness. I'm very sorry.
Sorry, 2023.
Wow.
So almost a year to the date as we went to Sundance.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So really quite the project to end on that note. But I would think that's such a profound way to start that film career. But also in which the way you approach your work is so unique in the way that I have to wonder, do you consider yourself a filmmaker first or a visual artist? Because the way you use color and the way you use stop motion animation and things like that, are they intrinsic for you?
Yeah, I think because of my background in commercial and music video, I was able to experiment with a lot of techniques, from stop motion animation, hand-drawn animation, visual effects, and in music video, you kind of use them for aesthetic, but in film, you want to use them to kind of push emotion or convey a passage of time. But I really like using visual techniques and tricks of the trade that I've learned over the years to push the narrative, to really kind of push everything forward.
I think it's just absolutely beautiful. And at your studios, you're hoping to have actually a showing of this film. Do you know when that's going to happen?
So right now, everything's under lock and key a little bit as there are negotiations for sales, but I'd love to do a local screening at Head High because that's where I've done a lot of the work. I've got there's a really great community there. Also Terrace Theater, who I'm representing today.
Oh yes, very good. Yeah, we love our independent theaters.
Yeah, I love independent theaters. They've offered to do a screening. There's also a chance that it's going to go have a theatrical release in general.
Yeah.
I don't know when exactly that would be, but hopefully in the next few months. So it sort of depends on the sale. It could be on a streamer soon, or it could be in theaters soon. It's sort of up in the air.
Up in the air, but all very exciting.
Yes.
So are you working on anything new now?
So I have a couple of scripts in development. I'm talking with a few different companies, some in stop motion, some in live action, some of their hybrid ideas. Really exciting time though, because doors are kind of swinging open for my next project.
Yeah.
My next project, my wife and I would love to direct, like co-direct or co-write. So we're sort of trying to figure out how we can work together.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank
2
you.
awards at Sundance for your first shot out of the cannon.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty incredible. So
Yeah,
we look
insane.
forward to seeing what comes out of your studios in the near future. And thank you so much for coming to share with
thanks
us.
for
Really
having me.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Tony.
All right.
We're back after this.